I'm Anita Mateo, a Cuban living in Galicia, Spain. Today, I want to share my experience with you. Taking the Spanish nationality test. Yes, as you heard, I can now take the Spanish nationality test, but taking it doesn't mean getting nationality. Spanish nationality is available for Hispanics, meaning people who come from Spanish-speaking countries. I'm not sure if it's for everyone, honestly, I'm not certain, but well, in the case of Latin America in general, Hispanic America, yes. And you can apply for Spanish nationality after you have been living in Spain for 2 years. Legally, now I'm gonna take the citizenship test to get Spanish citizenship. I'm actually taking it today. In a little while, I have to leave for La Coruña because the test is done there in the city. Later on, I'll tell you about my experience after I take the test, how it went, I'll let you know. How do you schedule this test? I'm already taking it now. No, I haven't been living legally for 2 years, or I've been living in Spain for 2 years, but not legally. I'll meet the legal requirement in a few months. You can take the test early since I believe it's valid for 4 years. If I'm not mistaken, well, I'll leave the information here in case I'm wrong. I think it's valid for 4 years, so I can take the test now and it'll last that long. If you've lived legally in Spain for a year and can apply for residency after 2 years, you can take the test now. That test will be valid for 4 years. It's an option to get ahead in some of the procedures. So I can't apply for citizenship yet. I could do that a little later, but I'm gonna take the test now. Because honestly, I started to do some research. Like the date's in January, and there were no spots available in January, February, or March. There's just now a spot available in April. So I said, well, I'm going to take advantage of it. I don't want it to fill up later and there be no appointments, no space to take the test. Today I'm taking the citizenship test. I'll become a citizen later and I'll share my experience with you. How many come out? Subscribe, like this video. It's totally free. It won't cost you anything and you help me a lot to keep creating content. If you like this channel, how have I studied for this test? Honestly, it's a test that's not that difficult. If you've already been living in Spain for a while, you'll already know many of the questions because they're questions about culture, about things, about laws, about Spain. You more or less learn them as you live here. Now, there are some questions, mostly about politics, like the Council of Ministers, Councillors, and the Civil Guard. I'm not very familiar with those things, so I get them wrong most often, but I'll show you. If you want to start studying and preparing for this exam, you have to download this app called, I don't know if it focuses there, Conocimientos Constitucionales y Socioculturales de España, Nationality. I mean, it's this app from the Cervantes Institute. And there are several options. Test simulation. How many do you know there are? Like random questions, the results, recommendations anyway. So what I've done most is test simulations. So there, they start giving you simulated tests. There are many questions that as you take more and more exams, they repeat and you start to learn them. Honestly, it's not that hard. I've taken several and passed all of them from the start without studying. I mean, here are my results, see? I've passed 25 and I've taken 25. I mean, everyone I've taken, I've passed. Yes, I've made mistakes. I don't know if you can see the grades. I didn't score 100 or 90 on all of them, mostly about 84, but I think you can miss 10, which is a lot. It's not that strict. I thought it would be a bit stricter, honestly. No offense, but I don't really want it to be stricter. It doesn't have to be that strict. But, you know, there are questions that in the end aren't that hard. For instance, one question asked how many autonomous communities Spain has. 17. How many autonomous cities? 2. What's the ingredient in a Spanish omelet? Well, egg and potato. Some questions are very easy while others are harder, like asking who is selected in general elections. I didn't know that before, but now I do. I think ministers are elected in the elections. I don't remember now. I'm wearing this outfit because it's a bit hot and I didn't want to wear pants. I'm taking this jacket and in this bag, well, I'm going to take my computer. And now we're heading to Coruña. I'm going to go with some time to spare. The test is at 5 in the afternoon. There are several locations and I got assigned to one that's near the train station. Well, when you reserve your seat for the test, it tells you where you have to go and all that. Later on, I'll show you how to make an appointment in case you want to do it, with my friend Taimi, who is the expert in those things. Now we're leaving. I'm going early so I can sit somewhere quiet, study, and all that. Women. I'm 7 minutes from the place. Hey, and I sat here at a cafe to have a little coffee and do the last 3 before the test. Here, I took a screenshot of the questions I've gotten wrong the most. And generally, I always get things about politics wrong. For example, who is the representative of the state in an autonomous community? I said president of the autonomous community, but it's actually the government delegate. So I started taking screenshots of the things I was getting wrong the most. So the place is at 5, it's about 4 o'clock, but I'm 7 minutes away. So I sat here to relax a bit, have a little coffee to wake myself up and all that. I brought my laptop to handle some paperwork. Now I'll connect to the Wi-Fi here. And something very important, always have a VPN, which I always recommend to you. I'm already at the test site. Now I'll tell you how it goes for me, how everything is. It's here near the train station, a place called the University School of Labor Relations. But anyway, they send you an email, they're super organized, they send you an email with all the information, with the location link, with the documents you need to bring. You have to come with your passport, número de identidad de extranjero, and a receipt that they give you when you make the appointment. So, well, I'm a little nervous. I'm going to the test and then I'll tell you how it went. I'm out now. Honestly, it was really easy. All the questions match those in the app. If you need to study, focus on the ones I had. Each test was different for me. Not everyone got the same test. There were a lot of people, but I think I did well. I may have made mistakes on 3 uncertain questions, but I'd already done most of the others. They give us a paper with all the information about the place. I can check, and the grades will be out in about 3 weeks. I'll let you know later if I passed or not. Honestly, I hope I did. And well, that's it. I'm done with that now. And here is Tai, who hasn't been on screen for a while. Tai made the appointment for me and all that. Briefly explain how to make the appointment, take the test, and what the process is like.
You need to register on the Instituto Cervantes website and always verify your information is correct. Because if you get a letter wrong or anything is incorrect, you can't take the exam. Be sure to double check your first name, last name, número de identidad de extranjero number, and address, okay? And once you register, you select where you want to take the test, the exam. There are locations all over Spain. However, some places in Spain are more crowded than others. There are places where if you request it today, you can go next month. But there are places where there might not be any availability for 5, 6, or even 7 months. So you choose where you want to go, you choose the date. It's always on the last Thursday of each month. Always the last Thursday of each month. It was on Wednesday this time, but I don't know why.
Yes, Wednesday, I don't know.
They're usually on the last Thursday of each month. Next, proceed to payment of 85 euros, which is due immediately.
I already finished the exam and did well, though I hadn't told you yet. If I made a mistake, it was likely on 1 or 2 questions I'm unsure about. I'm not sure if I answered them correctly. Did you get citizenship by taking the test too?
Yes, way.
Was it easy for you?
Yes, but I understand that about 3 or 4 years ago, they added 25% more questions. Yes, compared to what there was when I took it, for example.
I like new questions and things. I think I did well. I'll let you know the result maybe later because they give it to you in about 3 weeks. And here we are now. Well, we came to eat after the test. I'll be Spanish soon, I don't know. And we came to eat at a Chinese restaurant. Here, a Chinese place with Chinese food. It's really good. It's like a buffet. And that's it. Later at home, I'll tell you more details and more things. I'm going to give a brief summary of how this whole test went, in case anyone has any questions about how it is, whether it's done digitally or on paper. And, well, for people who are from here, from Spain, you can also learn how other people become Spanish, since in the end it's all about getting your Spanish passport and so on, but it's not like we're truly Spanish. I'm Cuban, it's fine. First, the test was. In that place, there are several locations. That's not the only place where it's done. When I arrived, there were a lot of people. The people I saw the most, the nationalities I saw the most, were from Venezuela and Cuba. At least here in Coruña, those were the ones I saw the most. Then they called us by names. There was a regular list of the names of the people who signed up. I was nearly the last. I thought, oh no, they won't call my name. It can't be after I paid over 80 euros. They have to call me, right? Well, sure enough, I was one of the last ones they called. And then they took us to another place and made us line up again. And then we had to go through again, one by one, showing our documents. Well, the passport, the número de identidad de extranjero, and the receipt, which is a document they give you when you make a purchase. You still have to pay for the test. They send you a PDF as a registration receipt to prove you registered correctly. And you paid the fee and that's it. They come back and go through there again. They carefully check all your information and give you a locker with a key so you can store your belongings. Because obviously this is an exam, you can't go in with a phone or a watch. And they told us not to bring anything that makes noise, because if that happens, you'll be expelled. They said people were expelled for bringing in a smartwatch or similar device. So you have to be disciplined. This is a test. You have to take it seriously. I think it's been a while since I was in an exam like this, you know? At that level, the licensed one will be even worse. I thought because he asked ChatGPT, my friend, who told me the test was on a computer and you just marked things. The questions aren't open-ended. Each has 3 options and you choose one. There are 25 questions like that. For example, they asked me, where does the president live? By is it Zarzuela Palace, Moncloa Palace, or another I can't recall? You had to mark your answer. I can't recall if I got the king or president. Think it was the king who lives in Zarzuela Palace. So did you fill it out? They told us to fill it in, like in the little box, to fill it in completely like that. For the correct question, it's not about marking a cross or check. They gave us a paper, pencil, and eraser. Since I didn't bring mine, I didn't know anything. Since I searched online and it said the test was digital, but mine was on paper, a paper they gave us there. And we had to mark the answers. The questions weren't that hard. They asked me those and also how many autonomous communities Spain has. Many questions were ones I had practiced. Also, I made a mistake on one. They focused more on political topics like deputies. There was one question, I'm not sure I answered correctly. What was it? In the city council, there's the mayor, ministers, some other officials, and the councillors. I chose the councillors, but I'm unsure if it was correct. Honestly, those kinds of questions were the ones I got wrong the most, but with other kinds of things, yeah, everything was fine. Where is the famous film festival in San Sebastian? Let me think, what was it? Like the test, the one that vehicles have to pass by law, which was the Inspección Técnica de Vehículos or something like that. I did know that one, like when they took away your license, and that was it. The options were serious accidents, speeding, or losing points, and it's for losing points. Anyway, I just want to say the exam wasn't hard. Passing 15 out of 25 questions seems easy. I also don't advise you not to study at all. I studied a little bit. I did about 25 tests, and I think that was enough to feel pretty prepared. And that's it. Well, they told us you have 45 minutes in the room. You have to stay for 45 minutes, of course. 15 minutes, they told us. After 15 minutes pass, we will start checking, and those who finish can start leaving. I finished in 15 minutes and was among the first to leave. I checked. Of course, I did it quickly because, I don't know, it was easy, but I did check a little bit that I didn't make any mistakes. And when those 15 minutes passed, they came by my table and checked everything was fine. I don't know, they gave me a little paper, which is the one I'm going to show you a bit now next, and then they let me go. So they told us that we would receive an email later with all the information. To know if we passed or not, the people, if I passed or not, will see how it goes. I think I did. I think I passed. I have hope. And soon later on, I'll start the paperwork. If I become a Spanish citizen, I'll have both Cuban and Spanish passports. Oh my God, how exciting. What a feeling. I never imagined this. And what you should know after you take the test and all that. The professor who supervised the exam said everything was already full until at least November or December. There, in that institution, in that place where the test is taken, in A Coruña, there are no spots. There are a lot of people waiting, registered to do the same thing. There were about 50 people, I could say, or maybe more, I don't know, I wasn't there either. Yes, it's valid for 4 years, as I said at the start. Subscribe, give it a like, and all those super mega ultra important things. Join our channel and family and leave a comment below. Tell me if you've had this experience of taking the test like it used to be in your time, or if you're thinking about doing it. If this video was helpful, I always try to help you. I send you all a big kiss, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye.